My parents teased, when will your kids ever shine like your sisters? She grinned, maybe a decade from now. I smiled back and said, then I'm done with your mortgage payments. Soon after, my phone wouldn't stop ringing. My sister texted, pleading, and I replied with 4 words, wait another 10 years. I'm Daniel, 35. Middle child, the go-to fixer, remembering everyone's food sensitivities and bringing spare chairs. I mend Wi-Fi, assemble furniture without a fuss, and keep extra chargers in my car like snacks. Married to Lena for 10 years, we have Max, 8, who collects stones and apologizes if they fall, and June, 5, who names every dog Kevin. I teach math at a community college by day and tutor teens at night. It's steady, not showy. It pays the bills if they cooperate. My older sister, Tessa, is the star marketing exec, dazzling smile, perfect posts. My younger brother, Leo, drifts through jobs, shocked when bills arrive. Our parents revolve around Tessa, always have. Her school projects were art shows, my A's gotta keep trying. Leo strummed a guitar once and we were suddenly musical. This matters because of last Sunday. We gathered for a potluck at my parents' house, paper plates, nice napkins, Dad's old radio humming classics. Tessa arrived late with store-bought cupcakes, presented like trophies, and launched into her twins' coding camp and soccer leagues, reciting wins like a news ticker. Mom's eyes gleamed. Dad nodded like his neck was a hinge. Lena brought chicken, I brought salad. Max and June raced around the coffee table until Mom snapped, mind the vase, in her, your kids are chaos tone. Tessa's twins sat primly glued to tablets, glowing like statues. Dinner was loud, cousin gossip, a neighbor's roof saga, Dad's worn-out rant about kids today. I ate, smiled, refilled glasses, keeping the peace. Then Mom asked, voice sharp and showy, when will your kids match Tessa's success? I froze, fork in hand. They're 8 and 5. Tessa smirked. Probably 10 years, she said, snapping a cupcake selfie. Kidding, sort of. Dad chuckled. She's got a point. Lena squeezed my knee. I heard June barter carrots with Max, the blood rushing in my ears. It's not a race, I said, soft as always. Tessa tilted her head. Life's a race. How else do you measure progress? Mom added, we just want the best for your kids. More drive, maybe. I gave a tight smile, biting back words. I didn't say my students text me late about algebra because I make time for them. I didn't say Max learned to tie his shoes yesterday, or that we skip fancy camps because money flows one way, out. Instead, I said, who wants coffee? As I stood, Tessa mused, would Max focus better without those silly rocks? Mom fiddled with the salt, Dad stared at his plate. Lena's hand pressed my knee. I'm here, that was the first spark. I didn't snap. I poured coffee, laughed on cue, drove home with my jaw tight. After the kids slept, I stared at our broken clock, ticking unevenly, weighing peace versus pride. The question, when will your kids be as successful, sat like a stone in my chest. It wasn't about cupcakes or twins. It was about a quiet deal turned loud. When Tessa bought her house, she hit a snag, escrow issues, she said, temporary. I sent $1,150 monthly for her mortgage, believing her tears. Months became years. 6 years, a bridge became a highway. She'd say next quarter or bonuses are odd. I told myself it was family, temporary. Lena knew. We share a bank account, a life. We cut groceries, stretched shoes, chose free classes for June, one sport for Max, our cars on its last legs. Vacations. Later. Library trips and cheap ice cream became our luxuries. Lena stretched 4 chicken breasts into 6 meals with a spreadsheet named Make It Work. My parents knew but never thanked me. Family helps family, they said, praising Tessa's new kitchen counters online. They didn't ask how we were. When June needed ear surgery, I got a heart emoji and a link to Tessa's neighborhood newsletter. I called myself foolish in the shower, whispering, it's temporary, to the tiles. But the small slights, cupcakes instead of dishes, Tessa charging me for park tickets, built a rhythm where I paid and they called me kind. Lena stayed calm, asking, you okay? When I stared at our bank app. I'd nod, avoiding the truth to keep our paper house unburned. She said, we can stop. I said, after summer. But summer brought more camp fees and I felt like the bad guy. The next Saturday we planned spring at my parents', birthdays, games, trips. I brought pasta salad, Tessa a schedule, Lena patience. Halfway through, Dad said, so Daniel, how will you get your kids competitive? I said they're 8 and 5. He shrugged, early matters. Mom chimed, we don't want them trailing Tessa's kids. Tessa smiled, maybe 10 years. Lena's hand steadied me. The iced tea pitcher dripped. I set my pen down. I'm done paying your mortgage, I said, calm as a forecast. The room froze. Mom blinked, Dad's mouth shaped an O. Tessa flickered, shock, calculation charm. What mortgage, she asked. The $1150 monthly, I said, for 6 years. Mom snapped, that's private. I'm family, I said. Tessa waved, it's temporary. 6 years isn't temporary, I replied. Dad said you can't just stop. I can, I said, and I will. Tessa leaned in. You're punishing my kids. I'm stopping a pattern, I said. Mom asked what changed. I said you mocked my kids last Sunday, laughed, said 10 years. I'm done funding a story that hurts my family. Dad called it dramatic, I called it true. Tessa tried just till summer. No, I said. She blinked, stunned. Power trip, she muttered. I stood, not storming out. I'll call the bank Monday, cancel the transfer, send you the total we've paid, $82,800. No more debate. Lena spoke, voice steady. We're raising kind kids who love rocks and books, not apologizing for it. Silence hummed. Tessa said, you'll ruin us. I said, I hope this saves us, or at least my kids' future. We left before dessert. In the car, Lena exhaled. Max asked for slushies. We got them, tongues turning blue. At home, we built a blanket fort. Monday, I canceled the transfer, confirmed twice, feeling like I'd cut a thread. I emailed Tessa, transfer stopped. You've received $82,800. Plan accordingly. No jabs, just facts. My phone erupted, 14 missed calls, mostly Mom, then Tessa, Dad, and Aunt who loves drama. Tessa texted, please, just till summer. I replied, wait 10 years. Petty but true, she'd said it first. I graded papers, ignoring the buzz. At dinner, pasta, peas, bread. Max talked about a potato-shaped rock. June asked if potatoes are rocks. Lena smiled fully. I shelved my phone. Mom called, disappointed, then guilt-tripping. We raised you. I said family harmony isn't one person paying while mocked. She cried, I let it sit. I said we're okay, but this is final. She hung up, no resolution. Tessa offered $200 monthly. I said no. She sent a mortgage screenshot, then a list of favors, rides, a hoodie, one babysitting stint. I said those don't balance this. Dad called my tone disrespectful. I said so was Sunday. Voicemails piled up. An aunt urging me to be bigger, grandma saying families fight, then eat cake. Tessa's husband listing canceled ski trips as struggles. I laughed, exhausted. Tessa's late payment notice hit my email. I forwarded it with, you've got this. She called me a monster. I sent a budget template and resources, offering help on my terms. She snapped, I'm not your student. The family chat tried humor, cat photos, memes, but Tessa pushed 1 month, then resume. I didn't reply. I slept, woke, slept again like shaking a fever. Mom went quiet, then invited us for dinner. It was tense. Tessa skipped it. Mom said boundaries are walls. I said they are. Lena shut down Tessa's attempt to call her, earning my endless respect. Tessa posted about betrayal. I muted her. 2 cousins messaged support, admitting they'd covered for her too. My bank app showed no transfer on the 3rd. I moved $300 to savings, labeled Fort. Max bought 3 rocks. June named 1 Kevin. We got full-price ice cream. Tessa's payments wobbled, late on time, late. She sent screenshots seeking approval. I gave thumbs-ups. Mom asked for grocery help. I offered a dish. She said not the same. I said I know. Tessa called defensive with a budget she hated. We reviewed it on Zoom, cut extras, found $480. She thanked me grudgingly. I said, proud of you. She cried briefly, then hung up. No big apologies came. The story just shifted. Parents still praise Tessa's twins. I bring chairs. When they ask about my kids' success, I say they're kind, curious enough. Tessa asks practical questions now, auto-pay, rates, bulk stores. I answer when I can. Lena and I added a whiteboard note, say no fast. We say yes to libraries, rocks, picnics, movies under blankets, and garlicky pasta. We say no to paying for others' stories at our expense.